Good stream, what's good stream, what's good stream. Welcome to another mother effing stream. Yo, it's a lot going on today. We're about to get into it like we fucking TMZ. Okay, let's first get into these Diddy court case. This shit is bananas, bro. I don't know what the fuck going on with Diddy, but he need to be stopped. This man need to be stopped, bro. What the fuck is he doing? I heard some shit on some shit. It's just like, yo, what? But yeah.
All right, so a big part yesterday was them going through text messages, the defense attorneys, because they were, right now, they are fighting to prove that Cassie was a willing participant.
Hold on. It's a lot going on. Shit. Fuck. Fuck it.
In the freak offs, that there was no force, there was no coercion. So they going through these text messages. Basically, it was a ton of them. And she's in the text messages saying she's down for the freak off. Also, she's in these text messages planning, like, you know how she said Puff was the ultimate choreographer of these things? She's giving very much Lorianne Gibson. She was choreographing her dang self in these text messages.
Oh, wow.
So what they...
All right, boom. This is Diddy's trial case. So we're gonna get into this shit. Yo, drop a like, drop a comment on the YouTube, drop whatever you want. We about to get deep and dive into this case because I wanted to talk about it yesterday, but I wasn't home to talk about it. But now we're here today and we're gonna talk about it. I'm saying my real opinions. I don't give a fuck who don't care about my opinions. I'm still saying it anyway. So, that being said, let's enjoy this case. Not enjoy, but let's deep dive in this case and see what's really going on to this shit because this shit about to get wicked and spicy. But yeah.
They did was, which I thought was like, again, brilliant, and it blew the prosecution's setup up. The day that Diddy and Cassie got into that fight at the Intercontinental Hotel, the video that CNN dropped, when the prosecution presented the narrative around it, like, okay, let's give y'all some background info, they only used like 3 texts from the day of March 5th. The defense attorneys was like, let's go back to March 3rd. And let's lead you into where the prosecutors, y'all talked about text messages.
And that was 2017, right?
2016.
16. Okay.
Yes. So when they took it back, it was such a different conversation. And I don't understand why the prosecution wouldn't have included this and got ahead of that. So in the text messages, Cassie and Diddy are having a conversation days leading in, and you know they're like sexting, and a lot of the explicit text messages they wouldn't read in court. So I don't know exactly what she was saying, but they were sexting a bit. She sent, I believe it was 4 or 5 sexual text messages. Like, she's initiating that. Puff is really on some like, I'm proud of you, because she did have that big movie premiere coming up. So he's like, yo, I'm proud of you. You got this weekend coming up. They talking about like accessories for her outfit. And then she's like, so it gets to the weekend, right? It gets to the day that they did that freak off, and she's trying to figure out what her plans are. And he's like, okay, well, I'm down to do whatever you want to do. Let me know what you got going on. So she's like, I want to see my baby. And then they start, and now they're having a conversation about the freak off, and he's telling her, since you want to do this, you plan it. Call the guy from the male escort service they were using, and Cowboys or something like that, and get who you want. You set up how this one is going to go. He even said to her in text messages, like, if you want, we can sit back and just watch. Like, we don't have to even participate. And they asked her, but they was like, okay, so what does that mean? Like, sit back and just watch. There were also text messages from another so that created a whole different narrative around that, right? But there were also text messages. Remember, she talked about being forced to do it on her period and stuff like that. There was text messages where she mentioned being on her period, and he didn't force her to do anything on her period. He kind of like backed off of it. He was like, oh, okay, bet, like, cool. The text message.
Don't say she's lying now, and the text message is showing different shit. Like, she wanted to do it. Oh man, yo, this is crazy.
Messages that they showed yesterday in court, that whole force, that coercion thing, it blew that up.
No, I listen. I'm just being objective here, right?
I'm Jordan, and these are my breasts. We've been through some big changes.
Some disrespectful shit.
Diddy's legal team has already conceded to some aspects of his conduct.
Yes, 100%.
So they're just trying to say in regards to Cassie, it wasn't coercion, it was consensual.
Yes.
Correct. Now those text messages go all the way back to 2009.
Yes.
Right? And
Oh, they even before, they had like 2007, I think it's some
okay,
text.
so the ones that are from 2017, all Cassie is going to say is that she said whatever needed to be said, because if she didn't comply, he would beat her up or be violent to her. She already admitted that she loved him.
Yep.
She said she also was afraid of him. That's typical in an abusive relationship.
100%.
So like that, when you like, no, I don't believe that blows up the prosecution.
The
at
only
all.
the only thing that I will say back to that, because I said the same thing too, because also that's like that text thread is from like 3 days out of a 10-year relationship, right? So there has to be way more. We know there's way more because we've seen the evidence of him being physical,
I disagree.
right?
It shows that she was involved and that she wasn't being forced. But I think they.
But what
knew
if she
that.
was afraid? When she takes this, when next time she takes a stand and they ask,
when she texts him to ask about it, I think it's going to show that she wanted to do it just as much as he wanted to do it.
No, but she said she
Right.
already has contextualized that.
Right.
She
Yo, thanks for the likes, brother. Thanks for the likes, man. Hope you like and follow, like and follow.
contextualized that her first couple of days in court by saying
Yeah.
I did whatever I had to do and said whatever I had to say in order not to get my freaking face beat.
But
up.
I think so. Seeing that, and that's what I'm saying, because like for instance, there was one text from 2009. That's the one where she says, to correct it. That's the one where she directly says, "I'm always down to freak off." And then later she talks about how she wants it to be like she wants it dirty, like she wants it aggressive, she wants it whatever. So that you know why they did that, because they're trying to show if he was aggressive at all. She asked for that, but
she was down with it.
yeah, but I just think that like in the text messages leading up to that Intercontinental video, he was so gentle in the conversation. Like
But she also said she didn't want a woman in that position. She didn't want him with any other woman. She wanted to be the only woman.
Yeah,
but the Cassie thing, I don't think it's going to be as explosive as Dawn and James Cruz, right? And the reason I think Dawn Richard, because they both announced yesterday they're going to be on the witness stand, is there was no that we know of relationship. So this is straight off of. There's no.
We might find out why Q was crying in that Vlad TV interview.
You're right.
Yeah.
And same thing with James Cruz. James Cruz was the manager.
Yo,
so the
James
fact
Cruz
that the
saw so
prosecution
much.
is calling James Cruz, and the fact that the prosecution is calling Dawn.
Cassie said that James Cruz and D-Rock cried one time when they saw her get beat up. But listen, can it get more explosive than nut on a nipple? Another man's
Yes.
nut?
What?
Nipple, you think you gonna get better
even
than that?
the oil being warmed up.
Yes, because Dawn Richards was there, and there's no love for him. So she's not letting anything back. I'm sure Cassie's still being a little sensitive, but James Cruz and Dawn, those are gonna be explosive.
And also, too, Lauren, you said something.
And James Cruz was his ex-manager, by the way.
You
for people
said something,
listening.
right? You said something about, Diddy was being gentle in text messages. That means nothing. Because we saw the hotel video. So you can be gentle in a text message, but then in person.
No. The only reason I brought that up is because we saw the hotel video, but when Cassie talked about the hotel video in court, the way that she framed how the lead up to that was, like even their interaction while she was on stand, it came off as very much like
Aggressive.
oh my God, I'm just here. I don't want to be here. My body is being like used, bruised, and like almost like literally like a sex slave almost. But then you see the conversation, and he's like, we shouldn't do the freak off because you got this big movie premiere. Let's start early so you can get some rest. You gotta take it. Basically, he's trying to look out for her in that
So
situation.
she wanted to do the freak off right before she went to work.
Exactly.
Yeah, but he kept saying that. He was like, too bad you got work. Too bad you got work.
Right.
We should do it early. You should get rest. But her narrative was completely different. Even though we saw
Niggas
that
wasn't
video,
playing
it just
about
makes
them
you think
freak-offs,
like,
boy.
because they also brought in basically what's your motive? Is it vengeance? Because they read another text about Kim Porter. Cassie was upset that she never got to spend holidays with Diddy, and Kim Porter did. And it was apparent that she felt the way about the woman Gina, which is what broke up their relationship. Michael B. Jordan got some strays in here. It was revealed that
so they had a meeting with Kid Cudi before they blew up a car, allegedly?
Allegedly, they went to dinner with Kid Cudi. Puff sat them both down and wanted to have a conversation about the relationship. They brought that up yesterday because she made it seem like he sat them down because he's big bag Puff trying to scare him. Defense said no, he sat y'all down because he introduced y'all. He felt the way about that. He put you in the studio with him, and then you go grab a burner phone and start dealing with him. Of course he gonna sit y'all down.
Did Kid Cudi say in that meeting, well, why you burning my car?
No, the car thing hadn't happened yet. He said, what about my car? Because I think Cassie had kind of warned him, like he said this is gonna happen, and Puff was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What car?
I guarantee you today, all the prosecution is going to say, they're going to ask Cassie questions, and Cassie's going to say she told Diddy whatever she needed to tell him because she was afraid.
100%.
That's I guarantee.
100%.
I just wanted to keep him
that
happy.
would be the way to go anyway. That
Yeah.
would be the most sensible thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to keep him happy because I was afraid. If she already said if I didn't do what he wanted me to do, he'd beat me up and all types of other stuff. So
Do y'all feel like, in wrapping this up, question for the room, they spent a lot of time talking about withdrawals with Cassie, and even not even in relation to Puff. They were asking her, like, how is it when you withdraw from drugs? Because they were both doing that a lot. And she talked about how you get angry, you get irritated. Then they brought it to Puff and said, well, when he was withdrawing, were your days worse with him and his anger? And she was like, oh, yeah, for sure. They did that because they're trying to give reason behind a lot of what we saw in those videos. Y'all think that's going to help him?
No.
no, it's not gonna help him. 'cause
Hitting a woman and beating a woman, there's no
The drug's
excuse
not an
for that.
excuse for that.
Regardless. Nah, there's no excuse
Yeah,
for
a
that.
withdrawal is not. First of all, you're not even supposed to be that strong on a withdrawal. Like, you're supposed to be sick, illing. Like,
Right.
Nah.
You supposed to
And I
be
just- I just
hurling.
want the record to show. I didn't know how they were going to tie Rico together. I see it now because I see Nino Brown. I see Cassie being G Money.
Bro,
I
they
can see.
busting it
I know
down,
who Gutter
ain't
Man
they?
is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I can see,
Yo,
I can see what the
I
whole
be in
thing
court
is.
like, yo, she laying it out right now. But I will say, she
But
said,
G Money, all you gotta do is tell on the organization.
But that's what it seems like
That's right.
she's possibly doing.
G Money didn't want to be down no more. You know what I
Well.
mean? And when he didn't want to be down no more and started doing his own thing,
But my thing is,
Nino
will
took him
she
to the
be
roof.
penalized
Yeah.
because she was down at one point?
Exactly.
Who's the light
That's
skinned
what-
accountant though?
you.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If she started like saying her dirt, would she be accountability for that? Like, that's my main like question. Like, this shit is crazy, bro.
Ooh,
Yo, shut up, man.
the tapes ain't come out yet. We got 8 more weeks, baby. We got 8 more weeks.
You heard
Okay?
me, Lauren?
huh?
My thing is, will she be penalized because she was down at one point?
That's what
She
Envy is
was
kinda asking,
initiating
too.
at one point.
I asked and I was told that there's rumors that there was a conversation about immunity with her, but I'm gonna try and get some more confirmed information on that because I keep saying that like she was complicit at some point.
Exactly.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Lauren. Have a safe day in court today,
Thank you.
and don't step over anybody else again. Yo, Lauren was.
I got sneakers on today.
Oh, you got sneakers on today. She was walking with the high heels, stepping over people.
You be bringing deodorant, right?
Dang,
Yeah, she
I
sure
didn't even
was.
play the interview. It's okay.
You be bringing deodorant?
What?
I be thinking about that. I'm like, damn, Lauren
I'm
be there
sitting-
all day. You
I'm-
can't be
Well, for
musty
other people.
I'm
representing us.
sitting in the air-conditioned courtroom, and they shout out to the marshals of the court. A lot of people are big fans of the show, and they just like to take. They're really nice there.
Let
So,
Lauren in.
They take. I'm fine. I'm doing
Escort
okay.
her in. Make sure she good.
The marshals there are
That's
super
what's up.
nice.
All right.
And I'm in air conditioning. Musty. Ain't nobody running around like you.
Ooh.
Wake that ass up. In the morning.